Hello. Hi. So we're here today to get to know Canvas and Couch better. The voices, the faces, the brains behind the brand, right? And today I have with us Ram, who's one of our collaborators for one of our prized projects. Okay. Ram is a global marketing expert. He's worked with IPG media brands. He's worked with clients such as Coca-Cola, Dubai Expo 2020, L'Oreal, to name a few, right? And I think his specialty is really combining storytelling with performance, right? Ram, tell us, did I get that accurately?
I think you did. I think you've
Yeah?
been very generous. Ranjana, I am so happy and glad that we are here today.
Yeah,
First of all, congratulations on this whole Canvas and Couch
of
thing because
course.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
I think it's a great venue for people to come here
Thank
and
you.
chat and get their stories better.
Yeah,
But I'm more excited about being a part of your effort to bring this powerful art of storytelling and the
yeah,
power of marketing together.
yeah.
So, as she was mentioning, my name is Ram, and I am a go to market expert and a advertising and marketing leader. I have about 15, 20 years of experience in working with clients all over the world. I've led multiple large agencies and clients. And recently, what I've been focused on is to basically bring the power of storytelling and performance together.
Yeah,
Most of the times, what we see, especially with companies, there is a challenge either in storytelling
yeah,
or there is a lot of focus on performance, but obviously performance trumps everything.
yeah,
But what I've tried to do is to basically bring these two together so that founders or brands can actually make the most of both, okay, which is how it needs to be. And I'm here to contribute and see how I can actually help our clients, your clients, everybody become better
yeah.
storytellers and bring better marketing.
Yeah, so he's a co-host on the Great Indian Founders Show. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we thought it was important to have this discussion about marketing in 2025, what this means and how it has evolved over the last couple of decades. That's what we're here to do. Yeah.
I think we can go on and on about how marketing has evolved,
Yeah.
but let me just bring it down to the brass tacks, Ranjana.
Yeah.
Okay, the way we do marketing today is the fundamentals are directly the same. It's not like it's going to the fundamentals won't change. There are certain forever fundamentals that we talk about, but the way we do marketing today is drastically different than what it was 5, 10 years ago. Okay. For example, 10 years ago or 5 years ago, the number of content pieces that you put together was the most important thing, maybe.
Okay.
All right. Or the kind of, and 3 years ago, maybe the kind of data proficiency is what is important. But today, I feel that the power of storytelling and the ability to connect powerfully and tell your story in a way that people understand, resonate, and come to you
Yeah.
is the key differentiator today. And there are so many different ways of doing it. And storytelling obviously lends into this medium, obviously, but also long form video, how you actually engage with audiences, how do you build currency.
Okay.
That kind of stuff is what is absolutely critical and what is driving founders to become great founders, brands to become awesome brands, and products to become the things which we love. That I
Right.
think is where
Right.
we're going. Yeah.
Ram, tell us, in a broad spectrum, what types of marketing are there?
I think in a very broad spectrum, actually, it's a good point that you actually mentioned in a broad spectrum.
Yeah.
Okay. Because there are different disciplines of marketing, but what types of marketing, I feel that I can just broadly classify it into, for lack of a better term, there is a push and there is a pull.
Right.
Okay. When I say push, we talk about what we say to the world, hope that it reaches to the right audiences. Okay. And any kind of outbound marketing is basically push.
Yeah.
But the emphasis on push is about, getting my message across as much as possible to people wherever they are. But there is a more, or maybe an equally important, or even sometimes more powerful way of actually driving marketing, which is a pull marketing. In B2B terms, we talk about outbound and inbound,
Yeah.
but let's just call it push and pull. And the smartest marketers today basically understand when to push and when to pull.
Okay.
Okay, there's no magic formula, but each brand, each founder knows that magic formula inside of their own organization so that they understand how to actually drive the push and the pull so that we work better. I think broadly speaking, there's a push and pull kind of marketing today. That's what it is. Yeah.
Right. Okay. If a founder or a CFO, CEO have a budget in mind for their marketing,
Uh-huh.
right? Of course, you need to plan everything. You need to understand what the ROI for any kind of investment is.
Agreed.
Okay, we're looking at this as an investment. It's not an expense. It's an investment.
Absolutely.
In my opinion,
Yeah,
yeah.
and that's the right way to think about it.
Yes,
Yeah.
in my opinion, it absolutely is.
Yeah.
Right. So, where should the investment be in what efforts within of marketing there? Because there's multiple channels and multiple facets to it.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a dilemma that every founder, every marketing leader faces, Ranjana.
Yeah.
Because we don't have infinite budgets. Okay.
Yeah.
Everybody has a confined budget, and they need to. More importantly, there is always a pressure on figuring out where to spend, how much to spend, and
Yeah.
when to stop the spending.
Correct.
Okay. And in my opinion, as a marketer, I have to tell you, you should never stop spending, but that's a different story. Okay. But I go with, I'm sure you've heard of the Pareto's principle, 80-20
Right.
principle.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And I feel that by and large, it kind of applies here.
Okay.
Okay. Now, I feel that 20% of your efforts result in 80% of your returns.
Okay.
Okay. Now, the 20% of the effort, let's just call it, the effort is into two types, right? So one is the actual activities you do and the actual money you spend. Okay, that's there. Now, there is no one actual line item of saying this is where you spend, this is where you need not spend.
Okay.
But for, let us say, a founder who's, depending on where the founder is or the company is or the brand is on their evolution, maybe they're starting up or maybe they're scaling or maybe they're maturing. There are a few things that need to be spent on. But
Okay.
when it comes to what we started talking about, which is about where marketing is in 2025, no matter where you're spending, storytelling and audience connection, connecting with the audiences through storytelling,
Okay.
is where I would put my money on.
Got it.
Okay. And everything else would be like an always on. But if I want to really say, okay, put your money on this, I feel that visual storytelling and using that to connect both from a push perspective and from a pull perspective
Yeah.
is where I would put my money on.
Okay. So, is there if I were to measure like the metrics and the what kind of impact the marketing efforts are having,
Yeah.
are there tools to do it, or how would I do it? How would any founder out there, how would they know whether the marketing spend is, what kind of returns it's giving them?
Well, I think simply put, I think they should see an uptick in their numbers and monies.
Of course.
Okay, so that's there. But I feel that think about it this way, right? What if I tell you that you can, most of the times we actually go into the idea of like, okay, I've spent so much, I need to track a particular KPI, etc., etc., and you're hoping that the numbers come back.
Yeah.
All right. But what if I tell you that, by providing the right kind of marketing and the right amount of spending, okay, whether you're spending $10 or $100 or $1,000, it doesn't matter.
Okay.
What if I tell you that you can actually, there are opportunities for you to realize your goals much earlier, much more efficiently. Okay, to answer your question, and again, Remy, you can paraphrase, you can tell me the question again.
Okay.
Are you asking me where are we spending or how much are we spending? Where are we spending? What's the question again?
The question is to understand whether if I'm spending an X amount,
Yeah.
is it giving me the return that I'm hoping for the X amount? Should
Yeah.
I alter that? And how do I know when to alter it? Is there a feedback mechanism what should we look out for?
Yeah, exactly. So to get, yes, there is a feedback mechanism.
Yeah.
Now, I will divide it into two levels, right? So
Okay.
one is the absolute numbers. You spent money, let's say you're spending on Instagram, you're spending on any of the mediums that you know.
Right.
And you kind of want to have X number of leads, etc. Those are basic expectations from a pure business perspective. Okay. But from a more of a strategic perspective, I think there is an opportunity is to figure out what kind of social currency that your marketing is helping you realize. How many people are talking about you? How many people have actually spoken to you? How many people
Okay.
have called you? Okay, how many friends are bragging about you? Okay, so these kind of things are much more powerful than just actually tracking the numbers that are coming in.
Right.
Because sometimes the numbers that you come in might be mixed bag, right? You might get the right kind of leads, you might get the completely wrong kind of leads. Just because you spend $10 and you get 1,000 leads and all those leads are bad, then it doesn't mean that your marketing has actually worked, even though the numbers are great. The way you would want to measure it is to say how much of an impact that it has made, how early, and frankly speaking, you can do that.
Okay.
How early that you actually get the kind of social currency or the kind of market prominence that you have.
Yeah.
So those things can be actually measured and should be measured.
Okay, so what if like I'm in the shoes of a B2B brand which
Yeah.
is established 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Could be intergenerational, right?
Yeah.
And I'm exporting to multiple countries already.
Mm-hmm.
There's the fact, I mean, the business itself is
Mm-hmm.
proof in quality, proof in deliverables,
Exactly.
proof in everything, right? Now, in the new age world of marketing, there is a tendency for people to, of course, it's true more for B2C brands,
Yeah.
but it's recording everything.
Yeah.
Okay, you ask everyone for feedback, you ask everyone for a testimonial.
Yeah.
You, is it worth the effort of doing that? Because it is a considerable effort in terms of which is separate from the main business effort.
Okay.
So
You
from
mean-
from an established company, is it worth doing that, and why? And from like a startup stage or a scaling company, is it worth doing that, and why? Because if it's a startup, then resources are limited, manpower is limited.
Yeah.
So every effort, every hour counts.
Mm-hmm.
Is it wise to be doing that? What do you think? What's the impact of recording such social proofs?
It is vital. It's not just important.
Oh.
It is absolutely vital. So you brought a very good point up, Ranjana.
Okay.
Most of the marketing discourse today is about B2C, which is great because obviously that's where most of the media monies are. Okay, but there is a very deserved and yet underserved segment.
Okay.
Okay, and these guys are the ones who actually build this country up because these guys are B2B. They're working really hard,
Yeah.
and they really are not. They're not Coca-Colas of the world. They're not cool.
Yeah.
But they need the same kind of social, proof and the marketing that is needed to actually drive their business. Okay.
Okay.
Now, not only that, in B2B, there are two sides of the equation. One is you're basically trying to sell something,
Yeah.
and the other side is like you're trying to source something. Any B2B actually has
yeah.
two sides of the
Correct.
equation, right? So, what happens in a B2B context? Let's just take a B2B context, for example,
Okay.
right? A B2B is where you are looking for a very specific type of a product, which has to actually have the right kind of efficacy. If it is a pipe, it has to have the right kind of tensile strength, whatever it might be, to
Right.
meet the specifications that I am looking for from that supplier
Yeah.
or I'm trying to sell. So there is a proof point on that. That is a table stake.
Okay.
But how do you actually use a medium like this? Where does it come in to help me as a B2B person is when the social proof is built through stories which are relevant to that particular product and the people who actually, more importantly, use the product.
Okay.
The efficacy of the product. How many people actually love that product in the actual setting that it is supposed to work, and how many people have actually endorsed it, and how does that story all brought together? So think of it as like a halo, right? There is a product,
Okay.
let us say a pump, okay, and that pump has a particular efficacy,
Okay.
and that needs to be brought out with the story that the pump has to say on how
Okay.
well it is. But how many people have used it? Why is it relevant from a efficiency point of view, from maybe the amount of electricity that it works, the maintenance, all that stuff. So this kind of storytelling is actually vital. And it really makes it stand out, not just from a product storytelling perspective, but also from a B2B market currency perspective. So it is absolutely vital that, this medium or any storytelling medium for that matter is actually leveraged by these founders and startup guys.
It brought up a thought.
Yeah.
So if I was part of or building a legacy business,
Okay.
yeah, maybe it might not have a direct impact today, but in the future, if there's some sort of potential acquisition, potential market expansion to another country.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's worth investing in the time and effort to build that. Yeah.
I feel it's even more important
Okay.
because, okay, think of a legacy company, right? Somebody has actually put their blood and sweat to
Yeah.
build that up, okay? And then there is another generation that comes up.
Yeah.
And it's not easy. People think that it's easy, okay, my dad gave me this and I'm going to just build it out. It's not.
Yeah.
Okay, there is a perceptional challenge, first of all, they need to
Correct.
overcome. And on top of that, you're standing on the shoulders of giants who've already built it ahead of you.
True.
Okay, which means that you need to basically not just work what they've done, but you have to make it even more better.
Yeah.
And it has to be relevant to today's context. Okay, and today's context is not 20, 30, 40 years ago.
Correct.
Okay, how do you make that brand story, the legacy story, contemporary, and at the same time keep that legacy as your greatest strength?
Yeah.
Okay, these two have to be actually told. And for a legacy growth entrepreneur, let's just call it like he's taken over from his dad or mom, or it doesn't matter, or family business. The way to do that is to not just work on the actual product, but to tell that story from his point of view or her point of view, to say, this is what I have taken up, and this is how I'm bringing it, making it better, and this is why this is actually relevant to today's audiences. Okay, so that story is something which can only be told through stories, right? So, and I think that's why it's very important that legacy businesses actually leverage a platform like this or a video storytelling to bring that business up, and you can actually reach much more bigger audiences because of that.
Yeah, I think one reason why in today's India that's relevant is because, look, of course we have the Tatas, the Birlas, the Vedantas shaping our country.
The big kahunas, yeah.
But I still think it is the businesses in the, say, 5 to 500 crore bracket, or even a 5 to 1,000 crore bracket, who are really the backbone of this country. They're strengthening the value chain across every vertical, right? They're the ones who are ensuring the labor is getting skilled. They're the ones who are giving the opportunity for more education. In fact, they're the ones who are also building the education systems in most cases, right?
Absolutely.
And there's a certain grit which is required to make it happen in India with how it's grown over the years. And of course, there's a massive change. There's a massive, phenomenal change with how like our grandfathers or our fathers' generations would do it.
Yeah.
Right? And these founders, these guys have really... they've had the tenacity to adapt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they are, like you said, they're riding on the giants, but also in their own language and in their own way and making it relevant.
Absolutely.
And I feel what you said just now is very relevant in that context for founders.
Absolutely.
Who really, really shaping India and taking it from like where it's been at to the next step.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And
no, I think you brought a very good point, right?
Yeah.
These guys and girls are the backbones of India's growth. Okay.
Yeah.
What we see today is the large Infosys and the Jindals and whatever of the world. Of course. And we all need that because those are their North Star companies that we all want to aspire towards that. Maybe 1 in a million becomes that. Yeah. But the millions are employed and driven and skilled by entrepreneurs of legacy businesses, startups, founders who are building it, scaling it from 0 to 500, 5 crores, 5 crores to 500 crores. Yeah. And if you're above 500 crores, even better. Okay. But this segment are literally the unsung heroes of this country.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody talks about them. If you're lucky enough, you're on some TV show or whatever. But most of the times you're completely invisible.
Yeah.
Okay. And frankly speaking, their stories need to be told in the right way. Yep. And they don't have the ways to tell that story. And sometimes we have this wrong perception that somebody who's a B2B owner is, B2B is boring. It's absolutely not. Yep. It's the exact opposite of it, if you understand it. Right? And also I need to point out that we always say that, our grandfathers had it tough or our fathers had it tough. The fact remains that these contemporary B2B growth entrepreneurs and legacy businesses, these guys also have it very tough. Yeah. Okay? 50 years ago, if you open up a store, you might be one of the 5 stores in the entire pin code.
Correct.
Today, if you open up a store, let us say you
Yeah.
open up a pizza store,
Yeah.
there are literally hundreds of stores with multiple price points.
Correct.
And the question is not about opening up here. The question is about survival and breaking through and breaking free.
Yeah.
That is much more tougher. And I think we should give due credit to them
Yeah.
and celebrate them. And the way to celebrate them, again, I point out, is to bring out the story.
Yeah.
Okay, and that story, I think it's time for them to be told much more powerfully.
And I think another thing, which of course probably business schools talk about it maybe, but one of the things is that when you're stepping into, say, a legacy business or second or third generation,
Yeah,
the stakes are already high.
absolutely.
You know?
Pressure.
So the pressure for room for error,
Absolutely.
as opposed to if you start your own startup, small scale, and then
Yeah.
organically try to grow it. But if you're stepping into something that's substantial, it is considerable. Stakes are high. And how do you manage that? How do you navigate that? And how do you not just navigate that, but take it beyond that?
Exactly.
I think there's a lot of, it's something for anybody to be proud of.
They should be absolutely
Yeah,
proud of
if you manage
Yeah.
to do that,
Yeah.
and I think it's something for the country to be proud of.
Now, I can relate to that, Ranjana, because I am not a legacy business kind of guy, right? So
Yeah.
for me, while there was freedom to, build out whatever I'm building, I don't have the pressure and the scrutiny
Yeah,
of the entire, your family, your legacy, and your pressure. You're not only dealing with the pressure of actually building the business and the metrics and the numbers that you need to meet,
Yeah.
and the clients that you need to impress, and the customers that you need to bring in. You are also dealing with the pressure of actually making sure that the legacy that you've taken up is sustained and flourishing and is
Yeah.
actually getting to a better place than you found it and when you came in. The trust, the pressure is immense.
Yeah.
Okay, and so what that means is that there is a storytelling aspect of it, but from a marketing perspective, I think it would be good for them to basically make it easier on them to say, okay, how do I actually build my story in such a way that my metrics are met more
Yeah.
smartly, okay, and my business's legacy story is told smartly.
Yeah.
Okay, so that a little bit of that pressure is reduced. It's never going to go away, but a little bit of pressure is reduced,
Yeah.
and they can actually manage this more smartly and more powerfully and grow more powerfully. Yeah, probably.
That's right.
Yeah. Talking about these founders, Ranjana, I'm not a native Bangalorean. Okay, but you're a native Bangalorean. Okay,
Right.
and we both had experiences outside the country. You've lived in the UK.
Yeah.
You worked with companies out there.
Yeah.
I worked in the US. I worked in Southeast Asia. We have a very international perspective when it comes to this.
We do, yeah. I would like to think
There
so,
is
yes.
I feel that there are two types of B2B founders, right? So one are B2B founders who are focused on building businesses, who are focused on customers here in India. And there are a lot of B2B founders in a city like Bangalore who are actually reaching out to clients outside the country.
Yeah.
Okay, they want to supply. I mean, there are people who are actually doing, landing gears for Airbus. We don't
Yeah.
know. Okay, people don't know that. Okay, so every
Correct.
time you land a plane, there is a guy from here
Yeah.
whose product is actually landing the plane safely.
Right.
All right. So, in your experience, I'm sure that you know people who are on both sides of this, market focus, right?
Right.
I'm just wondering, from a marketing perspective, I can understand, but from a legacy business perspective or building it perspective, what do you think these guys face from a challenge, or what are they looking for from either from a marketing person or a business development person? What are they looking for?
I can actually answer from the other perspective
Okay.
because when I worked with the British firm
Yeah.
for a while, and we did look at bringing investors, specifically in electronics manufacturing, from the UK and Europe into India. So
Okay.
I had a British partner and 2 European partners, right?
Okay.
So they were very active in the business networks. They're well connected in the industry. But when you look at medium scale companies over there, so I'm talking about maybe 200 million pounds or till about £1 billion maybe,
Yeah.
there are a lot of things that they could benefit from partnering with people here
In India.
in India. One of the challenges we faced was, this is about, I would say 5 years ago, 6 years ago,
Okay.
which is not too far, right?
Yeah.
We were actually asked questions such as, what are companies in India like? Do they speak any English?
Seriously?
Yeah,
Oh wow. Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
That was actually a question which I had to answer.
Okay.
And I mean, it for
That only
someone
show
who's for all of us who've literally
we
studied,
take it for granted.
we take not take it for granted. Yeah, I mean, it's first of all, it's one of our national languages.
Exactly, it
Okay,
is. Yeah.
and secondly, with schooling and everything beyond being extensively in English, and we did Shakespeare in English in high school,
Yeah.
right? And this was, I don't want to say how many years ago, but when I was in high school.
Exactly. Please don't even go there. Okay. So
I mean, of
yeah.
course, it's the level is way different,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
It's very advanced, and just the fact that there was ignorance or lack of
Awareness.
visibility or lack of um, connection
Yeah.
and understanding about what the ground reality of the situation is, it was alarming, to say the
Yeah.
least. Okay, what am I going to do? Go up to this person and have a long conversation with him just so he knows how
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
conversant and well versed we are?
That exactly.
I mean, I don't see the reason to go and prove that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's just that the information hasn't reached there. Of course, the giants, I don't like Apple knows what they can get from India.
Exactly.
Of course, right? I'm talking about like mid-sized.
Yeah.
There's a lot of benefit if they have reason and potential to collaborate, which I think they do because Indian businesses are incredibly innovative these days.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're solving challenges in batteries, we're solving challenges in EV. We don't even have lithium in the country yet. Well, yet. It's still, I mean, there are stuff that are getting uncovered, maybe not, right?
Yeah.
But we're solving things with no bounds. Like you said, there's aviation stuff that we're
Exactly.
solving.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's things with nutrition and biotechnology where people are really putting in money and efforts into taking it to the next step so that as human beings, we function more efficiently.
Absolutely.
We're doing things for our factories to function more efficiently.
Yep.
A lot of people doing like IoT in factories, right? To enable Factory 5.0.
Yeah.
And I feel that the story of India and
I think it's
the
just
voice
starting.
of India it's starting and it's not out there powerfully enough.
It's not told yet
Yeah.
very well.
So I feel that in a perspective of, like you said, for legacy business or B2B businesses here, I think as much as kudos, firstly, kudos to them with challenges as basic as this.
Agreed.
If that is a concern in the mind of someone in the UK, for example, if you've been able to navigate that and get to where you are, firstly, kudos,
Hats
I give
off,
it to you.
hats off to
Hats
them.
off to you,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah.
But it's from marketing perspective, certain things like this
You're right.
are understood to be a given.
Yeah.
It will really pave the way forward a little more smoothly. You get into discussing the details about the intricacies of your workflow or your technical capabilities or your cost efficiencies and cost comparisons,
Exactly.
rather than trying to educate them about the basics.
Agreed. No, I think you're right, Ranjana, because I think this segment is absolutely underserved and unsung. Okay, and it's time for us to acknowledge that
Yeah.
and enable which way we can,
Yeah.
right? And most of the marketing, what we talk about is like how many social media followers you have.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? So it's very easy to, no offense to anybody else, but it's very easy to sell a very sexy product.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a nice fashion product or whatever, because the visibility and the demand is there. But if you're selling something which is very mechanical or very whatever it technical, okay, it might not be sexy, but the value of the product is much, much more critical to the infrastructure, the company, the country, everything, okay? And skilling for that matter. It goes, the effects are way downstream.
Yeah.
But the entire story can be brought out from all the way from like everybody who they're empowering.
Yeah.
The empowerment story of who they're empowering. That's a great story to be told. The product, how is it actually empowering the clients that they're building or they're selling it to?
Yeah.
And this entire thing can be brought together from a B2B social currency perspective, right? Just like how you have like reviews of, I don't know, your latest jeans or something. You can actually have reviews of people brought together in a much more powerful way rather than having just a testimony with a text and a picture. So I think these softer ways of letting marketing work for you
Yeah.
instead of you actually working on marketing
Yeah.
is very powerful for B2B. So what I'm trying to point out, Ranjana, is that in this case, people should actually think about how to make the marketing work for them rather than they constantly working on marketing. I think it would be a good opportunity for them to take it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in this context, I want to say that is this all talk? No, it's not all talk between us. This is pretext to a very dear project we're launching
Yeah.
called the Great Indian Founders Show. And it is a showcase and a channel where we are going to uncover the success stories behind founders and founding families in India.
Yep.
New age founders, maybe innovating better, maybe using textiles more sustainably,
Yeah.
maybe employing more women, whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
There's something commendable that most of you are doing. And we wish to showcase all of this
Absolutely.
with also an insight in your workplace so that the story is powerfully brought to life.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you segued into this, Ranjana.
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting thing that we actually named it the Great Indian Founders Show.
Yeah.
Because we feel that all Indian founders are great. Anybody who is actually building it in this environment is great.
I mean, have you lived here?
And now, exactly.
You know what it takes,
exactly.
right? You know what
We all
it
know.
takes to make a business.
We all know it's
work.
not easy. And especially if
Yes.
you're a B2B founder or a legacy founder, it's not even easy at all.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to do is to basically bring that story the right way. Because story is a story only when it actually lands right, when the story is said right and
Yeah.
the format is right. And we feel that there is a clear opportunity for actually telling it the right way because this market is absolutely underserved.
Yeah.
And the founders are underserved, more importantly. And we want to bring a global perspective into this and not just bring it from a place of just mechanics of building a brand, but the greater softer impact of building a brand and how it would actually translate into building their legacy, making India great, making our story great, and making their entire brand something to be reckoned with.
Yeah.
And I think there's something which needs to be told. I think the time is right. And we believe that you are great founders out there. We want to talk to you. And I think Ranjana has created this platform for us. And I think I'm very excited to be a part of this.
I'm glad.
Thank you.
Glad to hear this.
Yeah. And looking forward to actually collaborating so that you can actually tell your stories powerfully.
Yep.
Yeah. Cool.
So Ram, there's another question I wanted to discuss with you.
Okay.
Right? So from a new founder perspective specifically, of course, there's so many founders out there doing brilliant things,
Yeah.
right? But sometimes there's a certain quality you want to bring in,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
And there's a price tag which comes with high quality anything,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So from a marketing lens or a marketing perspective, how do you justify the price tag without hesitation?
It's a very good point. I think a lot of people actually struggle with that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Depending on where you are in the brand journey.
Yeah.
If you're a very established brand, you don't have to worry about pricing. Okay. But if you're growing and if you know that there is a value that you're bringing to the table that is really not what that is not in the market.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're being questioned every time. Why are you charging so much? Because let me just go into a tangent for a minute, right? I actually had advised a particular client of mine who was
Okay.
into arts and crafts, okay? And she basically was so passionate that she would go into interior Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh, Bihar,
Okay.
and identify these artisans who are original artisans who have actually been awarded by the government of India,
wow.
source from them, and curate them and build a store, okay, online store.
Nice.
And now she is actually competing with a whole lot of other brands out there who basically just are much more commercial in nature. There's nothing wrong with it. These are different types of audiences. The only thing that she had a challenge was that she would put all these elaborate stuff on Instagram, and most of the responses would be only 2 letters,
Okay.
PP.
Ah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And that's the mantra of Instagram today.
Price, please.
Price,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
What that means is that we are a very price sensitive society.
Correct.
That doesn't mean that we don't spend on the right things.
Yeah.
It's just that the first filter is it cheap, expensive? What is the price?
Cost conscious.
Cost conscious.
Yeah.
Better way to put it. Now, the way I would imagine that a person who's building a brand is thinking of us, okay, I'm bringing great quality. Okay, I'm having a great service. The experience of it is much more powerful.
Okay.
And yes, there is a product out there. Okay. Now, to justify, so I would imagine that I think you should take the vocabulary of justify out of it, because you don't really need
Okay.
to justify it. Justify is a very defensive proposition.
Right. Okay.
Okay. I think you would want to basically claim it the right way
Yeah.
and say, okay, I deserve it. Okay. And that deservedness would have to come through, right? So imagine a situation like this. Let us say you're building a brand like this.
Okay.
Okay. And you're important, what you want to serve is very clear from what we are trying to do here.
Yeah.
But there are so many out there which basically talk about, okay, build a podcast, whatever, etc., etc., etc. Which means that from a first point of contact, okay, then the messaging is exactly the same.
Yeah.
But there is something called a moment of truth.
Okay.
Okay, that moment of truth comes in when that person who is actually interested in telling that story interacts with your brand, either online or somebody calls you or somebody comes here and looks what you've done. Okay, these are all moments of truth. Or they listen to somebody who has actually done this before and they understand how well and how professional the offering is, and they have an endorsement for you. Okay, and they say, okay, if you want to have a great experience recording your stuff, come here, this got everything for you and is very professionally run, etc., etc.
Right.
These are all moments of truths. Okay. And the way you want to make yourself deserved of the pricing that you're offering is to ensure that these moments of truths are amplified and they're solidified. Okay. So which means that the way you interact with people, how you actually solve for any particular challenges that they have, how flexible you are, okay, how well their experiences of other clients have been.
Okay.
All these have to be said in the right way and made visible. Okay. Overtly, we bring it back to pushing it,
Okay.
and pulling it.
Push and pull marketing.
Push and pull marketing.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, when you push the value and actually also make sure that these softer things come back to you,
Yeah.
then you are in a much more better position
Okay.
to claim your value.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that we will ever be a society which is going to basically say, okay, what's your money? We'll give it to you. It
Yeah.
never be like that, but it'll actually help you overcome that resistance much more easily and more smartly. And I think
And do you
everybody
think
should do that.
podcasts play a role in it? Maybe.
I think so. I think that's why we are here. But
That's why we're
instead
here.
of instead of worrying about like whether we are promoting this, frankly speaking, this is a medium that actually lets you tell the story
Yeah.
in the way that deserves to be told.
And it's very authentic, I think.
It's very
You can't
authentic,
really-
and you can feel it.
Yeah.
Okay, you can
Yeah.
feel between somebody's trying to sell and peddle,
Correct.
and you can feel somebody's being authentic.
Correct.
Okay, that is something where you can only discern
Yeah.
from seeing, listening. These are all things which are inbuilt. And I think that's where the power of podcasting comes through. And I think we should make it a point that this is actually serving the people who really need the most.
Yeah.
Okay, and I think that's what we're trying to do here, I think.
That's what we are. But it was worth having a discussion about from a marketing point of view.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that you asked these questions, and I'm really glad that I'm here to be able to contribute to this awesome story.
If anybody wants to hit up Ram with some more questions, he loves speaking.
Oh, as you can
He
see.
absolutely loves
Yeah.
speaking.
I love
So-
marketing. I love everything about advertising. So any questions you have, hit me up.
Yes.
I'll be here to help
Yes. And again, coming back to Canvas and Couch, we choose our collaboration partners very carefully, and it needs to resonate with our brand. It needs to resonate with our brand ethos, with the quality offering, with our vision, most importantly. So it's I take pride in the collaborations we've built and we're building, and I think it's a nice and long and exciting journey ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So if this is about us, this is about our collaborations, and keep watching to know more.
Thank you so much, Ranjana.
Thanks, Ram.